I see it as the extreme of the motorsport world, you know. I get massive thrill from pushing the car as far sideways, you know, like to its limits.
It's just the adrenaline, mate. It's the people amongst it, and yeah, the crowds we get are getting bigger and bigger, and we've been in it now for sort of 12 years, and yeah, going strong.
Yeah, drifting is definitely something in my blood, and I love it, so yeah, definitely took my pick.
There's no problem with what platform you're using or what engine you have, whether it's a V6, inline 6, V8, or even a 4-cylinder. As long as it's comfortable for you and you're, performing the best you can and what your setup is, I think, everything's cool.
車作りもいろんな方向のセットアップがあってみんないろんな車を乗ってるのが、まず一つ楽しいのと、車の運転をしてる感じがすごいするんでドリフトは好きです。
Going sideways, flat out, engines revving, wasting heaps of cash on tyres, pretty much work to drift. It changes your whole lifestyle. Once you start doing it and competing, it just takes over your life, really.
Welcome to the Demon Energy D1NZ New Zealand Drifting Championship Series. 6 rounds across New Zealand, but only one Drift King. Well, it's a new season, new drivers, new cars, as well as a new face to the commentary team, Steve Daniel, joining us. And mate, what are you looking forward to?
Thank you very much, Kenny. Look, I'll tell you what, it's great to be a part of New Zealand's premier drifting series. Check out what we've got coming up on the show.
Coming up on today's show, we take a pre-season look at some of the drivers in the Pro Championship.
Macau was a super reliable season, which really played a big part in helping us take out the championship.
Coming into 2016, we're pretty hungry for the next stop on the podium, you know.
Manfield's a challenging track for me, and I've never won here, and I've had plenty of seconds.
We chat to Australian Michael Prosnick about his New Zealand campaign.
Get some podiums and hopefully win a championship. That'd be ideal, but that's really what we're here for.
We check out highlights from round 1 of the Pro Sport restricted class, plus a taste of what's to come in the first ever High-Tech Oils Trans-Tasman Drifting Championship.
But first, let's find out what makes D1NZ the most prestigious drift series in the Southern Hemisphere.
There's a lot of phenomenal drivers here in New Zealand, and the cars are set up really well as well. So there's definitely no slouches and a lot of guys hanging it out, and it's going to be some tough competition.
やっぱ世界的に見てもすごく上手で車もすごいレベルが高いんで、バトルするのが楽しみです。
D1NZ, well, it's the home of drifting, and that's why we do it. It's the championship. It's like going to the States, and if you want to go to the States and be in the top championship, it's the Formula Drift, So this is our little Formula Drift on a smaller level, but I think the level of drivers and the level of cars that are coming to these events now, it's pretty awesome.
There's a really high level of talented drivers at D1NZ, and there's guys forever coming through and trying to push those top guys off the perch. And a lot of the young fellas look up to the older guys and just they've seen us doing it for a long time, and there must be a reason we do it.
Being able to compete with those guys is just was a dream as I was growing up, so it's pretty cool to be out here competing against them now. Well, if you want to compete against the best, you've got to come to D1NZ.
It's an awesome run event. We've done 2 seasons of Pro-Am, which we loved, and now to move up to the pro field and compete with the guys we used to watch and look up to is amazing.
It's the only place we can come and trust the other drivers to be able to battle with them and qualify against them. So it's the best challenge for what we do, to build these expensive cars, spend all the money. We've got to do it, we've got to come to D1. It's the place to be.
Coming up after the break, we catch up with defending champion Darren Kelly, former champions Kurt Whitaker and Fanger Dan.
Defending New Zealand Drift champion Darren Kelly made history last season as the first driver to win the Pro-Am Development Series and the D1 Pro Championship trophies back-to-back, claiming victory at the rain-soaked Grand Final at Pukekohe Park Raceway.
Obviously had a really good year for us with very small to nil mechanical issues, and the car was a super reliable all season, which really played a big part in helping us take out the championship.
This season, Kelly pilots the high-tech oils Nissan R34 Skyline, powered by a 500 horsepower turbocharged RB30. While back in his race shop, a brand new Nissan R35 chassis takes shape.
Yeah, we're trying to actually get the R35 up and running and finished, but at this stage we're sort of going with the flow at the moment. A lot of parts are really hard to source, and a lot of custom parts in that car, so we're just trying to get as far as we can, as quickly as we can, but as soon as that thing's ready to rock, it'll soon surely be out here.
Coming into the opening round of the 2015-16 season, Darren Kelly is not only a hot favourite as defending champion, he's also the defending round winner at the fast-flowing Manfeild Raceway.
This track's pretty cool. I like Manfeild. Last time we've had kind of bad luck being here a couple of times. First time I came here, I blew a turbo. Second time we had a shim jump out from under the bucket on the valve, so we've been to valve. Had to borrow a car. Last year borrowed Gargan's car, which was as an absolute weapon. Managed to qualify first equal and win the round, so that really set us up for a good season last year. But yeah, I love this track. It's super fast entry, super quick through the midsection and tightens up at the end. So really fun and technical, but yeah, hopefully we can get on the podium in my own car for once.
Runner-up for last year's title race was Rattler Motorsport's Kurt Whitaker, the former champion, ready to tackle the new season.
Yeah, you know, coming into 2016, we're pretty hungry for the next stop on the podium. You know, the number 2's just not quite what we'd wanted. You know, things didn't quite go our way. The last round was a battle for everyone, and you know, so this season we've really prepared the car. We've spent a lot of time in the off season rebuilding and just making sure that this car suits me and is 100%. We haven't been rushed up to the last couple of days, so it's been a lot more relaxing, and you know, the car feels good. And yeah, we went out this morning and it's on point, so I'm really happy with it, and yeah, we're looking forward to a good weekend.
Driving the Autosure R34 Skyline, Kurt was looking to improve on last year's result at Manfeild.
Round 1 last year, we come 19th, and we still managed to come second in the championship. So really, I want a good start. Hey, ideally, I want to be on the podium. You know, that is the best way to start a season. But you know, everyone's here to prove a point at the start of this. You know, so we're just here to do as good as we can, qualify well, and get as much points in the bank, because this is, you know, potentially the make or break of the season for us. You know, Manfield's an awesome track. It's really flowing, it's fast, heaps of throttle, heaps of smoke, and you know, I think with us being here maybe a month later, hopefully the weather gods are helping us out, and you know, we're going to get a good dry weekend. Potentially, if it rains, then you know, we just have to deal with it, and everyone's in the same boat. But wicked track, I really enjoyed here. It's great fun. You get really good close battles if you can see through the smoke, but it's yeah, awesome fun.
Two times champion Daniel Wolfhouse brings a new supercharged engine setup in the Century Battery's 800 horsepower V Holden Commodore.
Back in the FTC stables, we've been pretty busy on the off-season. We've just put a new Vortex supercharger on the car and taken a little bit of weight out. It's a pretty heavy car still, it's about 1400 kgs, and but power to weight, I think she's about 866 horsepower at the wheels now, and it's a weapon to drive. Last year, I guess you could say we were always taking grip out of the car because the car's got a lot of mechanical grip. Now we've got all the power, and now we need to put all that mechanical grip back into it. So it's a little bit of setup fix this morning, and yeah, so get this car sorted out for qualifying, and we'll be into it.
While drifting for more than 12 years, Fanger Dan has never won at Manfeild, something he wants to rectify in the new car.
It's the start of the season, and you come here, and Manfield's a challenging track for me, and I've never won here, and I've had plenty of seconds, and it's a challenging track, but I love it the most. And the main thing is just you want points on the board for the start of the season. If you can walk out of here with good points, qualify well, and try and podium, it just puts you on a good ladder, you know, for the season, you know. So that's our strategy, is just to qualify well and podium and build on it from here. You know, we've got a lot of setup. We've got a lot of different setups that we can play with this car now, and we've only driven it once with the Charger, and it's going to be it's a weapon, you know, and we just got to work around it.
Australian international Michael Prosnick returns to New Zealand for a full season campaign, this time permanently basing the Supreme Caravan's V8 S13 this side of the Tasman.
We're trying to catch up, trying to learn the tracks quick. The little bits and pieces that are different, like the style, speed, the angle, slowly working on that. We came over last season, we had a terrible season with car dramas. So this season seems to be working well, so we can tune the car to try and keep up with the guys and really just get some podiums and hopefully win a championship. That'd be ideal, but you know, that's really what we're here for.
Prosnick has teamed up with race shop DKM Fabrication for his 2016 campaign, maintaining the supercharged LS13 between competitions.
We've got DKM on board. He's towing the car around, he's looking after it for us. It's just too hard to fly in and out. So he's pretty handy, he looks after Darren Kelly's car. So we have it in good hands, which is fantastic. The car, we just keep working with it this round and really, really dial it in, get all the bugs knitted out of it. You know, it's a different place. It's not like we can just take it back to our shed and pull it apart again. So it seems to be working pretty good.
Former circuit racer Danem Templeman makes a big switch this season, swapping from the old RX-7 chassis to a brand new E46 BMW powered by a 1200 horsepower Toyota 2JZ.
Hi, so this is our new car for the 2015 D1NZ season, which is a BMW E46, and we're running a Toyota 2JZ motor in it. Why have we done this? I've campaigned an RX-7 since I first started drifting, and it just had a lot of steering issues with the car and that, and we built the BMW because you can buy the bits straight out of Europe, and the way testing's gone, it's sort of proven that the car does everything it should do. It steers, it goes where I want it to go, and it's pretty fast. So the two sessions we've had so far have been really, really good. Just need a bit more seat time in the car just to get used to it. We got qualifying up soon, but we're pretty happy and pretty confident that we'll be up the pointy end of the field. I'm going to go out and do a bit of battle practice now and just sort of try and get my act together.
Coming up after the break, we check out highlights from the opening round of the Pro Sport Drift Series, the restricted class limited to 235 wide tyres.
D1NZ Pro Sport is an exciting new competition class for drifting in New Zealand. Formerly known as the D1NZ Pro-Am Development Series, the D1 Rookie class has been a breeding ground for new and up-and-coming drivers, a feeder class to the Pro Championship.
Returning for his second season, Mackenzie brings his 2JZ Toyota-powered R32 Skyline.
Mackenzie comes into round one fresh off the back of a podium finish at last year's grand final.
So we pretty much kept it the same as last season. Done a few little bits and pieces to the motor, pulled a few more horsepower out of it, changed it to E85 and made it a bit more angry.
D1NZ Pro Sport features a 235mm wide control tyre restriction used to limit horsepower output and overdevelopment of engines in the category, a regulation that has been implemented for a number of years in the Pro-Am category with great success.
It's my second season starting in Pro Sport, Pro-Am as it was last year, so it's good to be back here at round one in Manfeild, so yeah.
Ben Jenkins in the Brian Roberts towing Nissan S13 is another driver with fresh confidence coming into the new season. After a podium finish at Pukekohe Park Raceway, his brother Troy Jenkins also graduating from the Pro-Am Development Series, winning the class last year.
Bex Bennett is the only female in the Pro Sport category campaigning the Custom Motorsports R32 Skyline.
This is my fourth season, but we're hoping to get a few podiums this season and to be able to step up to Pro next year.
Time now to take a look at the highlights from round one of the Pro Sport Series at Manfeild, and Chad Mackenzie topped qualifying in pole position with an 84.5 from Cody Pullenbury on a 71. Blair Gribble-Bowering good enough for third. Now Steve, coming into the round, it was all about the wet conditions.
That's right, Kenny. Everybody's struggling with a wet track, proving entertaining for those watching, but possibly not for some of those drivers out there on the track.
One of those drivers was John O'Gorman in the Link ECU S15 that put Jonathan Bennett through to the top 8. Here Taylor Ford from Australia and Tyler Reynolds doing battle. Tyler Reynolds would do enough in the chase to take victory through to the top 8 as well.
Series newcomer Raven Robinson and Taurang's Calvin Clark went OMT after both drivers spun out in the top 16 battle. Clark going on to win this battle, moving into the top 8 after Robinson spins again in his V8 Sylvia.
Top qualifier Chad Mackenzie benefited from a bye run in the top 16. He then lined up against Ben Jenkins in the top 8. The Brian Roberts towing Nissan S13 wasn't good enough though. Chad Mackenzie in the Toyota 2JZ taking victory.
Showers continued through the day, even experienced drivers struggling to keep their cars on the black stuff. Calvin Clark eventually taking victory over Vincent Hopkins.
Yeah, that's right. Vincent Hopkins, unfortunately, in the Tyre Doctor R32, taking a spin yet again as the battle went OMT and ended up in the sand trap. Cody Pullenbury losing out against Blair Gribble-Bowering. Both of these newcomers to the series, Blair going through to the final.
Chad Mackenzie's charge to the top spot came to an end at the hands of Calvin Clark's Prime Avocados C33 Laurel.
This put Chad Mackenzie and Cody Pullenbury through to the battle for third and fourth. Chad Mackenzie holding a very good lead lap. The SR20 powered Nissan S15 squirming in the rear. Chad Mackenzie putting his foot down and putting plenty of smoke out the back of that 2JZ powered R32 Skyline. And it all went wrong here again for Cody Pullenbury. Unfortunately dropping a wheel. It was another points deduction. Chad Mackenzie looking very strong heading into the second pass. Cody Pullenbury unfortunately losing a bumper in the second pass, and the drying track conditions proving to be more of a headache as the wet setups couldn't cope. Chad Mackenzie managing to hold on to third place on the podium.
The final battle of the weekend for the Pro Sport Championship saw Blair Gribble-Bowering battling Calvin Clark.
That's right, the LS1 powered V8 S14 out in front, newcomer to the series, being hunted down by a series veteran Calvin Clark in the Prime Avocado C33. He tried to go for the up the inside pass here, and it really didn't set him up very well for the rest of the section. Big straight line, big points deduction, and Blair looking very strong in the first lap.
Now Calvin Clark will need to lay down an impressive lap in the second pass of the final or force Gribble-Bowering to spin.
That's right, Calvin Clark out in front, the Prime Avocado C33. He almost got handed a lifeline here, a big correction from Blair. Blair knows it, he had to recover. Calvin Clark trying to do everything he can to hold on a good lap here, but unfortunately it just couldn't stick. Blair putting on another correction, but with that straight line and dirt drop from the first pass, Blair Gribble-Bowering would hold victory over Calvin Clark. And I'll tell you what, stepping up from the grassroots and taking his debut victory on competition debut in the JWB Group LS1 V8 powered Sylvia is an impressive achievement, standing on top of the podium alongside Calvin Clark and Chad Mackenzie.
Yes, great stuff from our Pro Sport boys, but 2016 brings us a new element to competitive drifting in New Zealand with the inaugural High-Tech Oils Trans-Tasman Drifting Championship, bringing 8 of Australia's best drivers to compete on our soil for the first time.
That's right, the Kiwis went over to Winton Motor Raceway and Sydney Motorsport Park to take on the Aussies, and now we're coming back to New Zealand for rounds 3 and 4 of the series, taking place at Christchurch as part of round 5 of the New Zealand Championship, Easter weekend, 26th and 27th of March. Make sure you grab your tickets and support the Kiwis. Be there trackside to see it live and smell the rubber. Well, that wraps up our show for this week. Steve, the Trans-Tasman Drifting Championship. It's going to be cool to see the Aussies come over to New Zealand for the first time and do battle with the Kiwis.
Absolutely, Kenny. I'll tell you what, nothing beats a good Anzac battle.
That's right. For more series information and event tickets, check out D1NZ.com.
Coming up next week, I chat with the drivers in the STM pit walk.
You've got to be excited. You're looking fast out there.
Yeah, car's really hooking up.
You went to out-qualify and here to throw everything you could just to get your Y1 position.
Yeah, I'll get him one day.
We take a lap around Manfeild thanks to GoPro.
We then check out highlights from qualifying, and then it's battle time action from round 1 of the Demon Energy D1NZ Pro Championship.